Hello everybody, so today we're going to be learning about our first lesson, which is on changing fractions into decimals. So we are changing fractions into decimal. So one thing you need to understand, you'll start off with something like this. Let's just say it's p integer, you're dividing by q. You'll start off with something like this and your answer would be something in a decimal. There would be numbers at tens, hundreds, and thousands, like places like that. Okay, there's something I would like to go over first. So once you get your answer, which is in decimal, then your answer could be a repeating decimal. It could be a repeating decimal. Like repeating means those numbers that keep repeating, or the pattern that just keep repeating. Like I would say 0.54, 54, 54, 54. This just repeats forever. That's one example. Or it could be 0.66666 repeating. That could be another example. Or 789, 789. So it's basically a repeating pattern. So your answer could be a repeating pattern, or it could be terminating pattern. So that's another one. Terminating decimal. So terminating means it exactly stops. It stops at certain numbers. So let's say I have 0.893, stop, done. Or I have 0.72, done. 0.75, done. So that's a terminating decimal. So basically, first we're going to be dividing to check what's the answer, and then we need to decide if it's a repeating decimal or if it's terminating decimal. Are you ready for the first example? I hear yes, yep, thank you. All right, so here comes the first example. So once if I have p over q, the top integer is called the numerator. The bottom integer is called the denominator. Hint, hint, hint. So I can ask you something like this on Kahoot. Remember, Fridays there's going to be Kahoot, so please watch out for these kind of vocab terms. So first example, let's say I have 3 divided by 4. So what's the numerator? Pause the video and say it. All right. What's the bottom number? What do we call that? So it's 4, which is the denominator. So numerator divided by denominator. So this is how we write. So the numerator goes inside, the denominator goes outside. Okay. Time to divide. How do we divide? So how many times 4 goes into 3? Oh, none. That's not even, that 3 is smaller than 4. So this is where you need a decimal, top and bottom both. So once you put decimal there, so now you can put as many zeros you want. I'm just going to start off with 1. If I need any other, I can put later. Okay, now pretend that decimal is not even there. So 4 times what gives you 30 or less? 4 times 7 is 28. Subtract. Minus 2. All right. So 2. How many times 4 goes into 2? None. So it means I need another 0. Bring this down. 4 times what makes 20 or less? So it's 5. So it would be 20. No remainder. Yep, that's all. Here you go. So you got to keep going unless there's no remainder left. Okay? Anyways, so your answer is 0.75. Here you go. So is it repeating or is it terminating? Does it stop or does it keep on repeating the pattern? So what I see is it stopped at 5. So it means it's a terminating decimal. It's a terminating decimal. Okay, now let's move on to my next example. So next example is I have 5 divided by 3. What's the numerator? It's 5. What's the denominator? It's 3. So numerator would go inside, denominator would go outside. Okay, what is that? So now, how many times 3 goes into 5? It's 1. So I would put 1. Okay, it would be 3. Subtract. Minus 2. How many times 3 goes into 2? None. This is where you need a decimal. I would put decimal at the same time on top of the line. put a 0. I'll always do 1 0 first, then again I can put more, depends. Bring this down 3 times. How many times 3 goes into 20? So I would say 6. 18. Subtract. It's 2. All right, bring it down. Oh, 2 again. How many times 3 goes into 2? None. So I need another 0. Bring this down. 2. 6. So it would be 18. Subtract. So I feel like this pattern is just going to be keep on repeating. So it's going to be 6, 6, 6. So I would just stop there because I know it's going to be just so on like this. I'm just going to stop here. But what is my answer? So my answer would be 1.6. Okay, there are 2 different ways you could write this answer. One thing you could do, if that number repeats, you can just put a line on top of that number. Whatever the number or the number of digits repeating, just put a line on that. That could be one thing, or you can just round that number off. So I know it's 6, 6, 6. I would just round it off to 6, 7. So either or would be fine. Yeah. So, okay, is it repeating or is it terminating? Is it stopping or is it just keep on repeating? So it's repeating decimal. So this is repeating decimal. Here you go. All right, you guys mastered the first skill. Proud of you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.